A new hero rises in the timeline. Not Goku, not Gohan, but his youngest son, Goten. Trained by the Time Patrollers, Goten now defends the very fabric of time itself. Goten had never seen anything like this before. Time itself was breaking, timelines unraveling, chaos reigning. His first mission? Stop a corrupted version of Trunks from altering history forever. Goten's training had prepared him, but the fight was unlike any other. Battling not just for victory, but to preserve the flow of time itself. As the battle raged on, Goten's true potential began to awaken. Victory came, but at a cost. The timeline was saved, but Goten's heart was torn. To preserve the future, he would have to let go of his family, his world. Imagine a world where Goku didn't grow up alone. A world where the Saiyan warrior wasn't just the only hope for Earth. For alongside him, his twin brother, Kakarot, was destined to change everything. From the very beginning, they were destined for greatness, but in different ways. While Goku embraced Earth's kindness and warmth, Kakarot's heart burned with the desire to conquer. Their paths were set, yet they would soon collide. The clash of their destinies was inevitable. When the two brothers first crossed paths with the ruthless Frieza, the world would never be the same. Two Saiyans, each with different ambitions, now fighting side by side. The brothers' fates diverge further. As Kakarot's lust for power grows, Goku strives to protect Earth, leading to a final, fateful confrontation. Would family ties bind them, or would the thirst for power tear them apart? Before Goku, there was another Saiyan, a prince, born to conquer, but destined to crash land in a world far different from his own. Vegeta's journey began not with the destruction of planets, but with the potential for an entirely new fate. Raised not by a tyrant, but by Earth's kindness. Vegeta's heart was shaped by the bonds of family and friends, his ruthless nature tempered by compassion. Could he still become the legendary warrior he was meant to be? But the past is never truly erased. As the Saiyan race's darkest forces awaken, Vegeta must face his origins, his destiny. The Earth that raised him may soon be the one he has to defend. Vegeta was not born to protect, but his love for his adopted home has changed him. Now, as the leader of the Z Fighters, he must face the invaders who once shared his blood. Will his Saiyan pride stand against the destruction of Earth, or will he return to his royal roots? What if the most iconic transformation in the history of Dragon Ball never happened? Goku's fight against Frieza was legendary, but what if he never unlocked the power of the Super Saiyan? Would the universe have been saved, or would darkness reign? Without the power of the Super Saiyan, Goku's fight against Frieza becomes even more desperate. The fight drags on, Goku's energy fading, and Frieza's cruelty becomes even more intense. How much longer can he last? Without Goku's transformation, the Z Fighters are forced to step in. But without his power, can they defeat Frieza, or will they be crushed under the weight of his tyranny? A world without Super Saiyan might mean the end of Earth itself. Goku's greatest strength wasn't his power, it was his will to protect his loved ones. Without Super Saiyan, can he still find a way to defeat Frieza, or will he make the ultimate sacrifice? What if Goku had never left Earth? What if, instead of training in distant worlds, he chose to stay home and live a peaceful life with his friends and family? How would the world have changed without the Saiyan warrior who protected it? While Goku chooses a peaceful life, the universe has its own plans. Without Goku's training and power, new threats emerge, stronger than ever before. The Earth must face these challenges without its greatest protector. Without Goku, the Z Fighters are forced to step up. Vegeta leads the charge, but is it enough to protect Earth from forces beyond their strength? The fate of the planet lies in the hands of those who have never faced such a challenge before. As the situation grows dire, Goku finally returns to Earth, but is it too late? The Z Fighters have fought bravely, but they are on the verge of defeat. Goku must decide whether he can overcome his peaceful life and rise as the warrior Earth desperately needs. What if Frieza, the universe's most feared tyrant, was raised as a Saiyan? What if he had known the love of a family, the training of the Saiyan elite, and the pride of a warrior race? How would the galaxy have changed with an entirely different Frieza? Raised with the brutal training of the Saiyans, Frieza grows into a powerful fighter. His abilities surpass even those of the most elite warriors, but his heart remains different. He's not driven by fear or power, but by something more, pride. Frieza rises to power not as a ruthless tyrant, but as a leader of the Saiyan race. Under his rule, the Saiyans thrive. He conquers planets not for personal gain, but to unite the galaxy under Saiyan dominance. But even with his newfound sense of purpose, Frieza's ambition still drives him toward a dangerous path. Frieza's reign, while prosperous, sparks a conflict between races. The other species of the galaxy, threatened by the power of the Saiyans, begin to rise against him. The peaceful universe is now on the brink of war, and Frieza, the once tyrant, must now face an even greater challenge. As Frieza's power grows, so does his sense of pride. But this pride blinds him. A betrayal from within his own ranks shakes the Saiyan Empire to its core. Now, Frieza must fight not only the galaxy, but his own blood, his fellow Saiyans. Imagine a Goku born not on planet Vegeta, but on planet Namek. A Saiyan raised by Namekians, with the peaceful ways of their people. How would this change the fate of the universe? How would the Z fighters be different? Goku grows up on Namek, raised in the tranquility of its forests and rivers. The Namekians teach him their ways, wisdom, kindness, and balance. Without the trauma of planet Vegeta's destruction, Goku's heart is filled with peace. But even on Namek, he can't escape his Saiyan blood. Despite the peaceful life Goku has, his past catches up with him. The tyrant Frieza, fearing the power of the Saiyans, learns of Goku's existence on Namek. He arrives to destroy the planet, unaware of the warrior the Namekians have raised. Goku faces Frieza for the first time, but this is not the battle of a powerless child. Raised by the Namekians, Goku's power is controlled and precise. He uses his Saiyan strength with the discipline of Namekian training. It's a clash of ideals, not just power. After the battle with Frieza, Goku doesn't destroy Namek. Instead, he leads the Namekians in defending their planet and their way of life. With his Saiyan blood and Namekian wisdom, Goku becomes the protector of the universe, keeping peace in a way no one could have imagined. What if Vegeta, the proud prince of the Saiyan race, was raised not by the ruthless King Vegeta, but by the kind-hearted Goku? Would he still carry the same arrogance, or would he become a different warrior altogether? Under Goku's guidance, Vegeta grows up differently. Goku's training isn't about domination, it's about growth, balance, and using power to protect. Vegeta learns the value of camaraderie, friendship, and the strength that comes from working together. Without the overwhelming pressure of his royal bloodline, Vegeta's rivalry with Goku takes a new turn. Instead of despising Goku, Vegeta sees him as a mentor and a friend. Together, they push each other to greater heights, rivals, but in the purest sense of the word. As Vegeta matures, he begins to understand the true meaning of family. His bond with Goku, his adopted father, and Goku's family becomes his new purpose. The idea of strength being used to protect, not conquer, becomes his guiding principle. With Goku's influence, Vegeta leads the Saiyans into a new era of peace and prosperity. Instead of destruction, the Saiyans now fight to defend the innocent. The legacy of the Saiyan race changes forever, and Vegeta's role as their protector becomes legendary. Without Goku's arrival, planet Vegeta's fate would have remained in the hands of its tyrannical ruler, King Vegeta. The Saiyans were destined for war, but would they have fallen as easily under Frieza's reign? Or could Goku's absence change everything? With Goku never arriving on Earth, the power dynamics of the Saiyan race are altered. King Vegeta, unable to challenge Frieza's might, leads his people to their tragic end. Without Goku, there is no Super Saiyan to rise up against the tyrant. Planet Vegeta's destruction is inevitable. With the Saiyan race wiped out, Earth remains untouched by their threat. Yet, without Goku's legacy, Earth's fighters never reach the heights of power they once did. The Z fighters are left to defend Earth, but their power pales in comparison to the cosmic threats that loom. Frieza's empire spreads, unchecked by any resistance. Without Goku to challenge him, the tyrant becomes even more powerful, and the universe trembles under his iron fist. The hope for a rebellion is all but lost. But as all hope seems lost, a new warrior emerges. Trained by the surviving Saiyans, Goku's brother, Raditz, rises as a beacon of resistance. Will he be able to face Frieza and avenge his people? Or is he simply another pawn in the tyrant's game? See Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans, always carried the burden of pride. What if, in the heat of battle, he unlocked the power of Super Saiyan before Goku? Would this change the course of the Saiyan rebellion? Would Vegeta's ambition lead him to save or destroy the universe? Vegeta, unable to hold back his rage, finally reaches the threshold of Super Saiyan. The golden aura of transformation erupts around him, and the very ground beneath him trembles. He's no longer just a Saiyan prince. He's the new harbinger of power. With his newfound strength, Vegeta confronts Frieza with unmatched confidence. The battle between them is fierce, the two of them clashing with the universe watching. Could the Saiyan prince be the one to end Frieza's reign of terror? Vegeta's power grows, but with it, his pride and arrogance begin to cloud his judgment. As he becomes more consumed by the desire for power, he faces a decision. Does he fight for justice, or does his ambition push him into the darkness of a tyrant? Vegeta's victory over Frieza is followed by a choice: to rule the universe as its mightiest king or to defend it. With Goku's absence, the Z fighters are left to wonder. Can Vegeta be the protector they need, or will he become another tyrant in a galaxy filled with power?